Alright, Tabisian Memfa Nasia Sonko in free Mega TV. I saw ye Fambra Ubibia Yankopon Ishra Papa. Na Jibia mo supporter the MI Ewoyen platform we eso. Na Abusia, Sisia Minoka say dear Supreme Court. Omu ruling the declaration of 4-seat vacant by the Speaker of Parliament on the 15th of October 2024 year. I no nam soma afenyo markings etebri asemnuko PM ewo Supreme Court because he was very sure say Supreme Court ebeye the ope amano. He was very sure say this Supreme Court is not, it does not belong to Ghanaians, and I say it does not, do its work neutrally. Namum observe the ruling government and confer or appointment, and a Supreme Court observe in the Supreme Court are really in favor of Afenyo Markins in the MPP party 5-2. Unanimous 5 unanimous 5 judges almost ombakazi nkofo ina mu mai din na mu yise na ni na mu no NDC lawyer ba ko efen Adwudi lawyer Edward Adwudi Temakulo. I think say Edward Canadian no ore ababontin edin simbia todwa na wutie nsema lawyer Adwudi Temakulo eka. In fact, that is bias na ewo Ghana, the court of law. I mean, the Supreme Court too much. That kind of hatred, too much. How can you go to this extent to hate, your opponent like that, and using the court to do what is not, I mean, adie de kwan se koso na omode court no since the inception of this government enema nyina ye basa education system say legislature so NSA by you parliament NSA by no de kashi yamye no monyam alban babenti so the next tenure of office in so san betina so die enseda your judicial system say, your electoral commission say, your policing system say, a military no so crowd him aseba. Inti ebasana na yet your mining as in what? Na yet your mining as in what? Nanko ponchina yenkoni NDC lawyer Edward Adwudi Temakulo no so no de sa Supreme Court ruling no omunim dada. Anye omudi beba na de odu say untimi nkoka be ukokomboka say contempt, but we know the outcome already. Ntanye afi omudi we aba na ye betena sia afsesa hwehwe omoni. In fact wakan sim bebre na meso say obegimre na widen watie ni nsemo de tu edwa no meso so be like dwumadi a ekoso na wa subscribe to your channel no na bibi etimi akoso wano the Facebook page ni ewo ko na ko follow ye on Facebook na ye den na like your page ni yanko ni nkoti sema lawyer Adwudi Temakulo bra o share Randy Abbey watch as Metro TV oye program na breaking news no hitting say bang holman odi piano say hey sade okay monjibie na mso mfantina bu Supreme Court honum enti watoto bia mama no mo yenko ti nse na enfabra yenko pohira.
There's a 5-2 in favor of Afenyo. I'm told that Justices Tanko and Lovelace dissented.
Case closed.
Yes.
Okay.
I love to read dissent.
Yes.
And because you raised the issue of dissent, Randy, I just want to read a very classic dissenting view by Justice Lord Atkins.
Okay, Lord Atkins.
In the famous case of Liversidge versus Addison.
Okay.
And this is what Justice or Lord Atkins had to say.
It's an interesting case. Read it.
It's a very interesting. It's a groundbreaking.
He was a liberal.
And that is what he said.
Yeah.
I view with apprehension the attitude of judges who, on a mere question of construction, when faced with claims involving the liberty of the subject, show themselves more executive-minded than the executive. They show themselves more executive-minded than even the executive. You see, Randy, we are building a constitutional democracy. A democracy that we are hopeful and confident will live.
So interestingly, the panel had the original 5.
So the original 5,
the 5
I think all went well on the injunction.
Sat on the injunction. Yeah. And then they added 2.
They stay.
So they added 2. The 2 were Justices Stanko and
so they dissented.
Lovelace. Yeah. So the 2 were added were those who dissented. The 5 who ruled in favor of the stay, all ruled for Afenyo.
But let's not read into it. I mean, we are just reading too much.
Oh, right. I have just made an announcement.
I know, but let me say, okay, I want to stop us from reading. But
no, the 5 that were, I don't want to say unanimous 5.
Okay.
The 5 that were unanimous in their decision on the stay. Yes, I mean, were unanimous. They were unanimous on their view on this. Yes. The 2 that were added,
but as you know,
dissented.
Interim judgments are easier to obtain than substantive ones.
Okay.
You just have to show where the balance of convenience lies, isn't it? That's the test.
Randy, I think now that there is a judgment, we can fairly critique it.
Okay.
So I'll proceed.
But you question the reasoning.
No. Hold on.
You are going to speculate.
Hold on.
Okay.
You see,
it lasted like half a minute.
Oh, okay.
No, they're just reading the verdict.
Yeah.
Once they decide, then
I think usually such ones they'll go to conference and have conference.
Yes.
So usually you won't even get a judgment now immediately. It may take maybe a week or a few days to get it. But you see, I was on the Mo Ibrahim conversation when you introduced the breaking news. You see, when I first saw the Mo Ibrahim report on Ghana, first of all, it's a very credible platform, devoid of the NPP NDC conversation. So when I saw it, I was apprehensive because for a long time, if you monitor the Afrobarometer report on the workings of the courts, the reasoning and what Ghanaians have generally said about the court has always provided a cause for concern. For me, the height of it was when the National Security Minister, the Honorable Kandapara, a person who had had considerable working experience with Ghanaian institutions, had cause to tell the court or the judges in their face that when a particular consistent outcome is churned by the court, it has the potential of undermining one critical thing that is required in a democracy, public confidence. In fact, Randy, the only way you and I will have a dispute and would approach the court is that we believe at the end of the day we will abide by the outcome. But the very moment our confidence in the system of adjudication is compromised or undermined in any way, the next will be that we'll be resorting to self-help. And that self-help mechanism is a recipe for chaos. When I saw this Mo Ibrahim report, in fact, I even said, there should be an emergency judicial council meeting, at least to consider this urgent matter. Because you see, it goes to the very core of justice delivery. When an international organization, and remember, business people, when they want to invest in Ghana, what they do is to look out for such polls, to look out for such views from credible institutions. Now, if you're a business person and you are coming into the country, and you read from Mo Ibrahim or his report, that the impartiality of the judicial system had moved from a record high by not a 1 percentage point, not 10 percentage point, not 20 percentage point, but 30 percentage point from 2017 to date. That should be worrying for everybody. In fact, if you practice from our court, if you're a judge and you are not worried by the Mo Ibrahim Index, its report on Ghana, then there is a problem. For us as lawyers, because we represent foreign clients, when they come, they'll ask you, do this due diligence for me, do A, B, C, D. If they are coming with a perception that our court is less, when it comes to partiality, it goes to the very core. And it even undermines inflow of investment. Because for a foreign investor, there's always a potential that you may have an issue.
In fact, even some of the recent cases at international arbitration,
yes,
that have traveled through our courts, even fortifies this position. The rulings of our courts on some of these cases that eventually ended up at arbitration, and the results from arbitration even fortifies and reinforces this point that you are making.
Randy, so like I'm making the point to you, if you have an investor and he wants to come and invest in this country, and he has any occasion to examine this report, question that we need to be asking is, how confident will that investor have in approaching any of our courts? That, for me, should be a great concern for all practitioners. It has nothing to do with MPP, NDC. My learned friend tried introducing that, it is because the NDC appears to talk down on the court system, and that is what has influenced the Mo Ibrahim Index. With the greatest respect, I mean, these international organizations appreciate the internal political dynamics, and so they appreciate what is called a bias in coming out with these indexes. If the conversation is only about NDC, they may think that, no, this is politics. But they have been speaking to investors. And those investors, what is the level of confidence that they have in how we adjudicate matters, especially matters involving the government? Randy, I'll give you a classic example. If you recall, there is this company called Imperial Heritage.
Yes.
Imperial Heritage, a business people, they have obtained a judgment from a court. Now listen, this is a judgment that was obtained when evidence was taken. Evidence was taken. And the judge, after everything, evaluated the evidence and on merit ruled against the Republic. If the Republic has any misgiving, you appeal it. In a very extraordinary and novel manner, the Attorney General filed an application to set aside the judgment. One, that the filing fee or whatever that was paid did not commensurate with the claims, and some other issues. And the judge agreed. And on the basis of an application, set aside the judgment that he did upon review of the evidence. I mean, when you do things like this, you will get an outcome. But you will be sending a different message across. Randy, so I am worried. Look, when H.E. John Dramani Mahama presented the election petition in 2020 to the court, one, when the defense was filed, the petition should be dismissed because it discloses no cause of action. That was refused. So already the court acknowledged that the writ disclosed a cause of action. So you cannot sit here and say John Mahama presented something to court that was, if not, they won't put, when your people ask that the matter be dismissed because it did not disclose a cause of action, the court would have dismissed it. The mere fact that the court agreed and adjudicated evidence was taken is that the court found that there was the basis for coming to court. I have always maintained that we lost a glorious opportunity in refusing or disallowing the Electoral Commission chairperson to testify. Election adjudication is not a mere contractual rate that you come to court with. It is at the core of mandates. It's at the core of people's ability to determine through the ballot board who leads them. But we treated it as the usual contract, and A, B, C, D, and Madame will not, and this is, and it ended it. People are watching. And always remember that the people who are watching are equally sane and intelligent and are picking this. You see, where the impression is being created that anything that makes Akufo-Addo comfortable, the court will either delay it. That thing is fueling a very dangerous perception out there. That Akufo-Addo must be made to feel comfortable, pampered. It's a perception that is dangerous. And you see, Randy, why do I make this point? Immediately, MPs passed the LGBTQ law, the bill. The Constitution provides the mechanism if the president strongly feels that there are constitutional issues, the mode that he must go. That was ignored, and we saw the cease and desist letter from Mr. Bediatuo. If you recall, the president started raising issues about the bill when he met the diplomat at the time when there was no injunction application from Richard Delasky. How did the president know that Richard Delasky was going to go to court the next day? Because at the time when Mr. Akufo-Addo was speaking to the diplomats, there was no injunction application. How did he know? Was he the one who sponsored Richard Delasky to go to court?
Richard is not an MPP, by the way. I know him very well. He's a good friend. And I did my post call with him.
Okay.
In fact, he opposes MPP quite a lot.
Okay.
So I know Richard for sure.
I didn't say he's an MPP. I said sponsor.
Say that he's not.
No, sponsorship is different.
Well,
that's why I choose my word carefully.
Yes.
I am saying that when Mr. Akufo-Addo met the diplomats, was there any injunction when he was talking to the diplomats?
I don't know the second.
How did you know that the next day Richard Delasky was going to court for an injunction? Was he briefed by someone? So you see, you people should not have the inclination that the people you are in the arena with, excuse my language, adapt. We see what is going on, and we appreciate what is going on.
You are not like me.
But you see, Randy, my friend, and again, look, Dom Levo. At the time the court eventually determined the matter, it had become Pyrrhic victory for Dom Levo. When citizens of the Republic, at the end of this kind of justice, it fueled the Mo Ibrahim report.
Okay.
Because you see, look at the speed, the alacrity with which this Afenyo-Markin matter had been determined. The same speed relative to Dom Levo. Look at when the president came out with the Imposition of Restriction Act, one of the EIs. And my own professor of international law, Professor Tia, went to the court to challenge the constitutionality of those EIs, among other things. By the time the court gave its verdict,
too late.
There was nothing useful to do with that verdict. Now, so when these things happen consistently, and the impression is created that Akufo-Addo is being pampered, that anything that makes him uncomfortable is either kept on the banner. How do you expect Dom Levo? How do you expect that plaintiff to feel? Is there a different set of laws for Afenyo-Markin? Where there is a different set of laws for other citizens of the Republic, it's painful. And that is why I've always maintained that we all do have collective responsibility in making the court system work. Now, on this first issue, this morning, my learned friend took us into...
Makojo Boafu says that with all you said about the judiciary and the Mo Ibrahim Index, you won your case in High Court in secondary yesterday. What do you say about that?
No, hold on. Let me. You see, what he had not said, whoever, Makojo Boafu, sorry, what he had not denied is all the instances I've given. Was it the case that when Domelebo approached...
No, he's not...
No, I'm coming there. That I'll respond to him.
Yes.
When Domelebo went to the court, what happened? When the president was challenged on the EI, what happened? Are they not are they in doubt?
E-levy, the MPs.
E-levy. I mean, all those matters.
The Supreme Court says that they're asking the GRA to keep records, proper records.
You see,
so that if tomorrow the case overturned, GRA will be able to calculate all E-levy I've paid and return them back to me.
The person who sent this text would want to gaslight us and make us feel we are rather the problem and not where the problem is coming from.
I'm sure the point he wants to make is that it's all not...
No, but that is why. No, hold on. But even the Mo Ibrahim, it didn't say it's 100% drop.
I didn't say 68.
It said 30. So you can't. The drop.
The drop from 100 down. Yeah.
The drop is the 30 percentage point.
No, it was 80 something, and then it dropped to 68 or so.
No, 50 now. 50.
Oh, I thought
so. The percentage point is if you read the entire. So I am even interested in a situation where I can adequately advise a client.
You're not making your points?
And be clear on it.
Okay.
You see, Randy, on this Article 97, thankfully when my brother was making his submission, he had a beautiful constitution by him. Randy, if you go to Article 97, just by the side of 97, these are the words: tenure of the office of members. Tenure. How is it futuristic? Look, the Constitution Article 97(1) has just by rate.
I think it will be better with
hold on.
Judgment.
Hold on.
They said the reasons will be out tomorrow.
Yes.
So you listen. Yes. No, I beg you. Tenure of office of members.
Yes.
How is tenure futuristic?
Yes. I think
But you see, even more. No. I mean, you made some point, and I need to strengthen it. You see, conveniently, when you were reading F and G, and where the G says if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election, to join another party. To join another party. Well, you know what happened? If you recall, in 1979, Victor Usu's party got Kwekuba and J.H. Usua Champong elected as members of parliament on Victor Usu's party. Now, when these two came to parliament, for some interesting reasons, they left Victor Usu's party and now said they are on their own. But they said, no, if you're on your own, you came on the ticket of Victor Usu's party, so leave. Then they said no. So they stayed until the 81 coup. So when we're making the...
I see he was seeking to remain there.
They stayed.
They're seeking to remain
there.
So
I'm coming. So when we're doing the 1992 constitution, and like we say, the constitution mirrors our history. So when they were the framers were putting the 92 constitution together, mindful of what happened...
Can we have opportunity to talk on the decision before we leave?
In fact, Mugabe Mercy and so Eddie Simbi Ababontin. Now, which the more, in fact, the Afeyo Markins a very childish. Me, Afeyo Markins, I pity him because Obuko position akwawi Obono Bebonichi. Sisi nanka ye kufado. Nepo thank you for me anyway and on more MPP co-position. The magnetic force no and I did the tensional force no. In fact, and away centrifugal the science teacher or Hanku become a man. In fact, these are the key people Napo and Yoga President Akufo-Addo. Omuno mode MPP equal position due to their utterances and Simbia Yomoka and Nima Bia Yomodi Babontin. It shows clearly and it states clearly said these are the people Omuno mode MPP equal position. For example, in Yetianama Yasumju more omumpio eto omusi Akufo-Addo akoko machine statue keke. Meanwhile, no statue baby akoko machine no honum kwan na okko machine was no run about to be honum omunya nyewie enye adwuma senka uwo nyansa sebi enka ebe run about no develop that kind of area honum na ye honum kama na Akufo-Addo yi honum no statue na be tourist attraction na wetimi aye bibi aye betimi atwe nkofo adwen ebia ade bi ebetimi ama nkofo aba honum we develop as a tourist attraction eno na udin aka honum so pesenka nkofo kayo no upon all the messes that were creating okrom ha a pesen nkofo kayo no enka ubetimi aye saade no we develop honum na yakase o Akufo-Addo wa ya de anya hwi wa yebi until the munjano, but only the Osoriana Okofa, the state when se never hold the dough, se 2016 urbanation and bag mo, se never him because we planted that say, Oya dio, anya dio, the state will be sikruma, and can don't mean fancy, baby bunat faction, I'm telling you, and can I won't mean fancy because and can you pay bet Tiasia money state is one. Eh, you are Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yes, any other personality biano. It will not stand. It will not stand because apart from Kwame Nkrumah, inyam hu nipa papa bia obakurunwa obeye obebo adwuma. Ebia ye kasa yura kofo eni yura Tamos ansa John Mahama aba na wo Akufo-Addo de nka ye kan ka wo de wonka hu wo de wo ye nchine kura wayirem. But won so na wo sori na wo bobo o mo ho siakwa munyise e very sad. It is really sad. Se Akufo-Addo ntena se mo mbo na baso na mom onwano ena obo no abaso nti we ebeden yakoye Mugabe masi atoto bia mman afeyo markings wachire na where the power lies. In fact I can see be at the atwaso and we show consensus a lot of things, we review a lot of secrets nti ye mepse beko yekwakoti Mugabe masi ensemodi to edwane yakoba bedina kaina ebetwaso e wo ye platform bi so bedi kan katwa hanom ena ye authentic platform no open the political news in Kansua. Rely on us. Subscribe to your channel. News no buy ya me the 200 ma me chichirim. I know be ntimi kan mega me meka makachro. No be a show so ntimi kan mega me platform so. I just me bo I will say it. And there is nothing. Obi any obi me bibia. What I say absolutely nothing. Me see you be ntimi kan meka. And subscribe now rely on us. Bibia no me tima chichirim mama. Also with me after one say Yankopon shira yanko enkoti nsema Mugabe masi odi to edwa yakoba ibeto so
eno ene hu de ofie nyansa ne de fie nyansa abono ebi commission health center in opposition no na ebi so commission eye statue o my Ghana direction aye penie Kwame Nkrumah mokwa mo beye japade papa John Mahama mo bobo adwuma papa sisi hospitals adodo yi ya fa obia edin antoso obia mo ne ho safo hene yesi wiase enkyere enkanfo no ho. Over the weekend His Excellency John Dramani Mahama one yen majority leader honorable Kesilato Forcing and the majority leader na meka o TV so ya and ye na bapai netia bo se kum afenyo marking say ono no home in the spiritual realm no minority akwenya no emfete no na o ma me onye mo obosome nkura wo ba no wo de wakwenya bai nkonya na wo parliament no enye nkonya yeso ade kofie enye fie akonya enye adidi akonya political appointment bia won expiring date obi na sori na wase enye wo and as I say mo so ate a wa ba be minority chairman sabunsu kwa wo fie nyansa no wan kansa mfun se ya nkyere Ghana fo sanse tete ni wo fie ntino abra no wo ye leader adi MPP fo ani mo parliament no na wonti de bia ye den e wo ho na wo akwada wese a afi na wo sisuo 45 46 wo si yento nyom mfrew abra speaker okọ parliament 1992 no na wo 1994 afi na wo speaker eye leader no na wo twere de na wo twere BC ena o si Antonio Monfreo tete na tete na senye kofo MPP ne adubo ahe MPP kofo MPP wo atoforcing wo atoforcing wo gina badwam kasa ni dimi na ni bibia e wo parliament utimu se wo obi atete ni ofie da bia na udin central for atem na joy for mo ye bias joy for omobo amon no mo ye bias ato for what is afanya markets joy for no omobo amon no mo ye bias ana mo we ni mo we ni power no joy for dodo sen na wo ma ba mu kwayo bon kro mo nyina mo firi he na bae joy for mo newsroom ene mo the entire way what they say multimedia no dodo say and the board so dodo say and enya political appointment yenni mo nyina adwuma bebrebe a o man hene mo ene obi mo yama mo yi ewo o man FM ne Adom FM ene de joy FM for ye mo okay o makilo council se wan o mo yama mo ni nyina no ono odaso joy ana o free joy makilo council so on TV3 and never di joy for atem agenda money obi sete e wa sempa agenda money o man hene sete e wa Adom ene eye badwam I mean mu free say sabe ye ne afri ana ya sonso ntiasem na wanya o man panya o de Ghana ye taxes no abeye adwuma papa no o promise Ghanaians say obema 350 schools starting from the scratch ya hu ba kokura o ka so obema hospitals makoma 111 ya hu ba kokura akoye we ye sitakwade na wa asa akogina akọ commission munim ani wo munim fare abrawo ato force ani Excellency John Dramani Mahama commission what they say Jumako Enyan Esiam constituency ho na majority leader motumi anya air center kama ye kwa de course ho over the weekend
Boss, relax
That was Majority Leader and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the incoming President of the Republic of Ghana. Muhu Ebusu Apenyin, a year 60 Counsel, the late President Mills, ne brother and Wafra, a year Wafra ni Kinte kama ya wabuni kiki kama semi DB, what's Ebusu Apenyin no didn't come over today. We are champion ankasa. Actually I say yes. The late President Mills, the brother and the general hono, my idea. Ebusu Apenyin, what the baby ya kwaso fifi mantemono na obi commission health center no obi so commission statue ya ko eye takrade ne ko hwede kwaso.
This road is under construction. Just behind me you see the Western Regional Referral Center, that's the Efia Kwanta Regional Hospital. Now the roundabout or makeshift roundabout that you can see is a new facility. Initially, there wasn't anything like this. And it used to be even smaller. But people were surprised to wake up to see the president's statue in the middle of what seems to be a roundabout under construction. In fact, on Wednesday around 4 p.m., it surfaced on Facebook where someone raised questions about the essence of the statue here. And in fact, many youth in Sekondi Takoradi were on social media, bashed the leadership of the Western region for allowing it to be put up. We have interacted with some residents here, and they are not happy that this should even happen. According to them, since this government came to power, they have not really seen anything substantive to even give it credit. And so they do not understand why the president, Akufo-Addo, should be honored.
I wish the statue would be removed. What has he done for us?
But
I suggest the roundabout should have been completed first. He's still working, so there's no problem.
I will lead the youth of Sekondi Takoradi to relocate that statue to Chebi in front of Akufo-Addo's family's house.
They are saying that Western region seems to be shortchanged. If when you look at the PTC interchange, which was to be the first interchange in the...
Very well. Now just say, no, one say wa me bobra papa bia ma o man wa me ya de papa bia nanado amemmo bonne fun kan we the most useless president here under the Fourth Republic yenya we ye wo mo number 1 wa bon to won say die okofieti wa satui wa anya wan na baba be kai no aye bia ma no ti de ayetete no kan say satui oba be ya in all the 16 regions ono a bon ho safo hene nimra so awie emra ne de nanado pe Aso ukofia no a going president ukofie ama the incoming John Mahama wadi fie nyansa mpuntuo nyamisu amamwo eye mabunu benya adwuma ye under the 24-hour economy na bibia obia dey edidi peche the women's banking ma benya sika besia de biabi omunyumam na omumma ene omo abusua ye dey edi high TVS was it and a power 97.9 FM and the Supreme Court na se wani na nsese ye ka kire wo ene omo court na ase a bobo brofu ya na vacancy wan wo mo bobo brofu ene che say attorney general 6040 man wo gina ne naso Canada na we ya Canada na rich and the brofu di ma wi bi wo papa and na che say enya asem keto wo Supreme Court wo yen kwabe na omo nyina omo si nyame adom ochina na onkombire mo ba kwa asetena na omo didi wombia aba abonten na wa no say eja the idea ma make Zuma ye too predictable nyamena make justice yes for Akufu former chief justice we say the current judiciary o ye too predictable asamne da hwa hu ba bia echo tiwe ya hwe de be sichina ya hwe de course we ne
Lord, I'm most grateful. Plus, I'm grateful. Why, I mean, of course, being entirely the prerogative of the first defendant to file anything at all. Respectfully, I think that if the first defendant came before the court at the last agenda date, represented by counsel made representations before the court to file submissions at a certain point in time, elects not to do so, and then for no reason at all, elects also to appear before the court. Clearly, that is disrespect to the court. I made this observation because I'm the Attorney General, leader of the bar, and all that. Such conduct, with all respect, should not be tolerated by the court.
Leave it to us, Mr. Attorney General. Leave it to us. I would rather advise that as a member of the bar for which you are the leader, you should reach out to him at the close of this proceedings to find out if everything is all right.
Indeed, my friend, the chief state attorney, reached out to him on Friday to find out if processes have been done by him. So we've done our bit. hardly did we expect that he would not even show courtesy to the court by not showing up.
Honorable Attorney General, I think at the last again, if my memory serves me right, you also said when we asked that you should file processes, you said he had instructions to deal with the matters that he did, and then
he will go for further instructions.
So if he has not been employed again,
no. But my recollection is that was before the firm agreement and then statement as to when process will be filed by the court. That was before it. But that's fine. That's it.
We have a lot
to deal with. That's fine.
Yes.
Right.
So if we retire early,
right.
Because of
very well. Not just say the no any say go for that. I say no nya wadwuma lawyer makoto ano de efa ho ben ye tie wo hwe enima judges akese say hade we massa ewo dem ho enye ha makachi osesa attorney general we local champion and they say edru say afra asem Supreme Court ewo Ghana ha high court he wo hene ba asem kwa na papa wo akwagira ho wo hene ba ya we adwuma na ayi wo de say TVS was the 3 Power FM wo hene ba bo amabanie news editor na papa ya ji asem ya gina ma ya jeli wo hene ba ne ho ntono wo hene ba kwa ya so waba weekend wakwaji award kesi ya pa Gumbe show best journalist of the year akwaji aba na so na misa wo miade wo hene ba kotum na wasɛ no kuku saa we local champion ya fra wo yuka ya akɔ na da bia judgment after the boy pan sa wo benefit free mu so dia obi anim anjisna adru aya bema kamsisia. Power to the people. Because you say Drew Juada say ya and G Gabriel and Naya Neda Mugabi Masa Tankuliga Biga and Naya Meda and just no abo ewura aya Bema camp. Now the angels no bisa say a two do be free Bema camp echo unknown destination. The angels want to know. Me say angels no omo wa Bema camp. Na angels no person omo hunu say a true do be a free Bema camp to unknown destination. The angels want to know. Period. My angels listen and can say dear Kosubia they are monitoring the 900 million angels. Homo se me magana tese aso abafo no de akoso bia they are monitoring. Angels listen omo person omo hu say meeting bi akoso amasaman ya omo kwaye hihye bi omo aba be plenty sales pickups bi na omo ma no aye post for numbers na on the election day no won kwafo bi betena kam Umakofo nipa 30 be free aya upper east and the northern part of Ghana aba nkrahana ya omu che motorbikes 30 dia masa nkofo no the bad boys so mu medi nyamprasam awo amasam akonsuensi nsakina 3 junction ayikando bulo jida any side areas no the angels want to know says cars no ya be hand it over to the police. Me amam nkofo mi tade nkofo 30 mi tade ahye ya momo atuo na ballot box no wo mu sa area bi wo ha ya to abana no makọ create confusion to wo ba hu se post for na aba wo ba hu se post for na aba ya ji ballot box na yakọ dai na yakọ sesa no na ya tesa de peace aba idi wura kan ma na yakọ sesa no anje say semiti bi sa akoso a sa ka asese no mamu nyimpie sa nkofo 30 no mudi o ma free northern part of Ghana ni upper east aba mumu sanko wo mu abusa mumu sanko say angels no satellite ni da baby ya the whole Ghana challenges listen me masa ma wutumi asonte say etuo bia omonde bako Asante Regional Capital Kumase ewa MPP Stronghold tuo bia ntimi nto etuo bia ntimi nyadan ento nyame aduma ochina COP Brat Odro retired former director general sia de bebe fia ye bedi bambo honkomo the angels ne dia bano no where the angels corner the swaba for ne de ba na wi ano no Angie Gabriel, thank you. Now enei ye free takwade ye ko secondary high court no ye free papa na de ani kira Memphis Central Upper Memphis Central papa jejefo ya boniayafo NDC aboa bedi DC 2 times aba bedi MP 2 times na wakwa promise na wawie na wote ho ase shisha chire ene we nkwa court ene we ene nyame adom Joanna Kujo injunction no court wa yedan unlifty court wa yedan wa lifty o ye hwede court so ewo eye secondary high court Alright. That's just say the course so after a year court no e kwa setena wombuka say o ma left sa injunction no efi yenuaba a year Joanna Kujo na onu se the onu an egiram na we the pop for letter commission America mampa America no the abo ma many are disqualified na say wasem court ene this legal team ni yameti wo so na masori o a lawyer Edo Jitamakru, fantastic humble lawyer. Ubetene so na masori enei court no ema womu emu ayewie na no me say na sa champion lawyer wan kasa dia na che say wonye director of legal affairs ma NDC lawyer Edo Jitamakru.
We want to thank the court. I will say more. The Electoral Commission rep is in court. He is aware the court has vacated the injunction. The basis on which they disqualify Joanna Jan is based on the injunction order. Now that the injunction has been vacated, Jane Mensah should do the right thing. I will say no more. Thank you.
Very well, not just say yes, oh, and yeah, one of the no Cassatin bebrebe won pro. Papa, we your lawyer party with you. Make me lawyer muchocho mu with the midgina court 3 years. About 4 can't away. Now, Omu Dimijina court to 3 years. I can't see a guy. I say acquitted and discharged. Mijina am saying my search was Mugabe. Yes, sir, no could do fear. So be did you so be did you yeah, baby episode did you biano. Yamma would be on the penny, corner quadana winnie, would be a no near some BM. Tin lawyer Edo Jitamakru. We capacity. Lawyer Adawudu baby will be our mini by Christian Fiapa baby Mobiano, Lord and Laws, a chambers, Michacha Munina.
So it is very, very funny. It is, you know, Supreme Court no Mamen Counsel Nitro. More judges now mutiti no more. I am say Ghana for 4 months in serious and the mobile. Say you say Ghana for it take mu serious and the mobile. You people are kidding yourselves. Masa ene obi antimi predict ma any competent court of jurisdiction. Nobody, because baby ade wa adwin be fa no ebia na nkofa ho eni ntia ye wa ade bia ye frɛ no contempt. Inti contempt ni kyerɛ sɛ a case eda court na omu emfa verdict and a ruling ba abɔnten na wo be sɔre and wo be sɔre na wakoka ho asɛm. And you might not get it right, and even though if you get it right, you are not in the position to declare the verdict. Only judge, only chief justice. In that case, you can be cited as what contempt, or make me cite or contempt, and they can fine you. They can even call you to the court and explain to them reasons why would they say man. Ibisa, the Supreme Court were ne. I used so useless because there is hope. I used so biased and so political to the extent say ne there are some koto quarter in the kusi unyanka ekwa na wadwin be yo anyi se he ya na ekwa ye DNPP na ekwa because you will enkofo bi no moye judges are they stand on the ticket of MPP for MP omunya ene kufado etebiro mo omunko na munkotena bench ne so as Supreme Court judge. Do you expect nipa we say the assembly ba na efa MPP NDC ho a na nipa no we really na wadi ama MPP NDC. You see adebu honoma a human, a human I don't know meaning the word means inka. We are a normal life. Wamen kan say a normal life. We ye hwe nyi akwai se me manya adwuma na menua anase wo de menka se menua madamfo a minim no wa submit an application se me mfa no na obi a minim no wa submit an application. Do you think say me de bema obi a minim no? Me de bema madamfo na minim no, especially minim the way ni so city. And that is how it is. And until they be a beka say wo Ghana uye Ghanania. Let's all try to call for the review of the constitution. That is where I am arriving at, because we can't sit in the country where the executive arms of government select judicial, that is the chief justice, IGP, electoral commissioner. Then on minor kunim. You can ubibet nasi account because nipani nimse chinebino. It will be his turn. He will never concur. He will never agree to this we are media babontin. They be ameka. Ghana, Braille bring na ye constitution. Enka chief justice the president who ko ini yeden. Enka IGP the president who ko ini yeden. Enka electoral commissioner the president who ko ini yeden. They need to be elected. Enka oshe chief justice oshe omomu kita positions that they can be a chief justice, potential ones masality. And I said omu submit applications said the presidential no ACT no nanka Ghana for ya twaba mosu you competent one. How can this competent one, how can that person be ruled by the ruling government? Common sense. Yatwa bayi nipa na ebe den na president no otiso na ono wonim se nipa we na Ghana for bi no ebe den na one no ayikurudu akati o man no yetna honom na kufadu ko yi jemensa se o electoral commissioner ebe den na oman yabato ehun sensem ema ho ebe den na Ghana yabato ehun sensem ejina brane ebe den esi den na hu ejina brane. I've been always calling for constitutional review. Me bompa minya konyana. I will try to do that amendment. That is my agenda. I be pushy. Ubiambo aminamo subscribe na mi platform nye kesiye. And I know say by God's grace maybe amend the constitution no, because you cannot tell me that Article 71 Emma parliamentarians a lot of allowances. Huge one, of course. Abetim DB aka sebi a teacher for mobre or market young. You bet him dear hospitals at Tom Pabes Nadiati. Na Edia Kuma MP. Adia MP near wine or no shemra. Massa. And your loan, mamma can't you. Your loan won Ghana and Brano. And just a we MP and ye dumo. No. Even sad a additional we MP. You should be on I was on we matter that and yes MP now we in the nature say we do be no. Masa Ghana no and you may be on my was yes. We need to amend certain things in order to straighten things. And these are this country. MPP be this was an beba because on the catch on be reflect you back. They will reflash you back, say no. MPP 40 son, did you see what was going on? Yes, you are back, you bend your pay. Until the constitution is being amended, until the constitution is being on its right forms. And these are we keep on running in circles. We will keep on running in circles because obiaba and the parochial interest, the selfish interest, greedy. Subscribe for latest updates. Make sure bell like you madina wa share. Now for any be hanum your authentic and favorite platform. Awie mrem yaba ye be dedicate Ghana for nyani obi bia utie kasa no what you say. Rather unfortunate say intiminka brofo dey can, but that is not the basis of this platform. Your language you know mfanchem o hwe me na won ntimi kasa I know so won hwe me bio, but I'm sorry enye me na my me pese Ghana 40 nyama asinte de Ghana ye kasa na eden, and that is why bibia can twi no me unze me ka twi pa me ka twi bono me ka asante me ka hwan me ka emfanden kwana emise menka enkana ina me ka no ha what I say French ina me ka wa follow me out to the bia pay for the boom, so you attentive be very careful mon hwe Miss Maibu hey Charlie anyway mommy from see. So that is it. The subscribe for latest update. Make sure say like him page no oko description ni ma your Facebook page ko na ko follow na like page no so make sure say Revival Man link no ko na ko stream ni nyom no on all the digital platforms. Me ma me chiba for and so New York, United States of America. Mame yakopon hira wate ba tampa yakopon yokese sanso me mame we ye bi so hwe me apena bi na yakopon hira me mame makro bibia. Bye bye.